Hello everyone. So today we will look at something called strings. Um, in Python. So strings. So Python strings. So in our previous class, we have seen that we have something like we have used the hello world surrounded by quotations. So this is what we are going to look at today. So let us see, we'll expand on that. So what we have, we know this part, we have say caps. You run that, so we get hello world. So the object that we are interested in today is this one. Earlier we have just printed, we were looking at print statement, and we wrote a simple program, and today let us look the thing in between the quotations. We call that as strings. So strings can be any names. For example, we can say hello, we can say hey, how are you, right? Or we can say print mango, apple, you know. And or we can write I have 2 bananas. Let's say print. So we have hey, we have a comma, how are you, mango, apple, I have 2 bananas. Or I can write print just only characters. Or I can write, I can mix numbers, and but the overall thing, the idea is that we have this quotation, and what we write is in between those quotations. So now let us go back. So we can say print, right? So we can go back, and now let us go back to the hello world again. So we have hello world, right? So here, one of the things of interest is that this hello world, I can split it. I can so what I'm going to do is I haven't mentioned this. Anything, maybe I mentioned previously, but I don't remember well. This anything, if you put this hash sign, the sign usually on the keyboard in the number 3, if you press shift and do that Python ignores. So when you compile the program, so when you the Python interpreter runs, it does ignore. So I can write whatever I want after that hash sign. So here I put the hash sign and just say we are going to learn something called concatenation. So I can split this up. I can say hello plus world. And what I mean is this basically, as I said, Python will run up to this point, and anything after this will be ignored. So I can write safely there. So I can say this will print, what would this print? This will print hello world. So we print hello world. Let's see. Hello world. So yeah, so you see that I have put a small space. The space is also counted. So if I do this, so we don't get that. So I can say, I can do either, I can give that space here, right? Or I can give that space here. Yeah, so hello world, right? So now let us see. So what I'm saying is this plus sign basically combines two strings and we finally get a single string. So the point is I can now say, right, you know, maybe I can have more here. I can say, I can take this guy, right, and say maybe something like hey, right, maybe hey, right, like that. I can write that. So again we need a space. Hey, hello world. So we have combined these three strings. So we will learn, of course, yeah, so let us deal with this first. So we have this hey, hello world. So we are learning concatenation. This is what it is called. So now we can also, I can put this space with the same idea. I can do, take this here, this, and this. Yeah, I can do that, right? So what did I do? I have hey, and I put a space, and let's see. So same thing, hey, hello world, right? So that is what the concatenation does. And now, so this is more like an addition of string, right? You can say adding strings, right? And now let us see multiplication. So here what we will do, so we'll do same idea. Just say take this guy, right, and say, I say hello times 3. So I'm asking it to print, this is what I'm printing, hello, there is multiplication 3. Again, I would like you to note that the spaces after, before this is fine. I can put more space like that, I don't care. So what the idea is, the object in between, what is in between the quotation, and this plus sign. So the plus sign, this I'm just doing for readability. You don't need that space, or if you want to look good, or you know, you can use that as to increase the readability of your code. So this is hello 3, right? Let us see what does it print. So you see hello, hello, hello 3 times. So I can go fancy and say, right, I get a bunch of hellos in a very fast way. So so if I want some space in between, I can do that, right? Yeah, hello, good. So that's again, now we can combine this, right? I can have hello plus maybe 3 times, and then right, so right, I can do like that 2 times, right? So I can combine. So we have hello, 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 world, world. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it's independently. I can do maybe here 10. So So we have two things now. We have multiplication, which basically repeats the string, and string, of course, in between this called quotes. And there's an addition, which is also referred to as concatenation, and where we combine the two strings and we get a single string is printed, or we get a combined the strings together with the content which is in between those quotation. So we will learn two things. So now let us go and learn some more ideas. So like suppose I say we have something called, if I now take it, let us go and bring the hello world again, this guy. And say I have this guy here. Now, with a new thing, suppose I have this string here. In any given string, every letter has a positional value. So H is positionality, that's a 0 position. E is at 1, L 2, 3, 4. The space is also counted 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So altogether, the word, the string is of length 11, but the index values, which is these positional values, are called indices. These indices value starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So D is at 10, not 11, even though the length of the string is 11. So what we call this is, we are going to do something called indexing. Okay, so how do we access it? Suppose I just want H. I know it's at 0th position, so I do this and I put a square bracket, parenthesis, a square bracket. So let us see. So I get H, right? And if you want if you want E, that would be what? 0, 1, right? And this should give us what? So 0 was giving us hash, it was giving us H, and let's do a few. So we can go back and say this one, if I say 1, it has to give what? It has to give us E, right? And if it is say 2, it has to give us L. And what about if I give 10? 10 was what? D, the last one. So we might think that the last one is supposed to be 11, since the length of the string is 11, but it is 10 because the starting index was at 0. D, that will be D. So let us see if our theory is right? Yeah, the last one is D, which is at 10th position. So indexing is easy. So starting with 0, right? 1, 2, and so on. So I can pick up, if I just want the space value, what was it? What will be this space? Where is that one? Right? So the space value will be at where? It will be at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And since it won't be seen, we need some marker, right? So we can write, we can put a marker. So let's say print. Let's put a print, right? The space printed below. So the space is printed below, so we can see it as we know. So that's a space value. So this is the space, the empty space, single space. So that is very easy so far. So we can have the 0, 1, 2, and I can also go from D to H. Now you are going from H to the left to the right. So from H to D. So if I want from D to H, we can use the negative values. I can say the negative index. So I take this guy, right? Now, so the thing is, the negative indexing starts from D. So the D is -1, L -2, -3 will be R, and so on. So if -1 what I said, this is D, right? And if I do -2, that will be L. So I'm going from right to left, and print -3 will be what? -1, -2, -3 will be R. And so what would be H? The first one will be what? What will be the first one? Yes, it will be, what is the length? -1, -2. How many letters are there? What is the length of the string? 11. So this, if I am not wrong, has to be H. Let us see. So see, yeah, -1 is H, and -1, -2, -3, and -11, which is the length of the word. So you can see the difference. Since the indexing start at 0, the D was at 10. But since the negative indexing starts at -1 at D, H will be at -11, which is the length of the string. Other one is length of the string -1. So as long as we remember like 0 and the other one is -1, we'll figure it out what is the last one. So this is the indexing part. So, and now let us take it again. There is another interesting thing, another tool we can use, another idea. So I have this, right? I can start with 0. Suppose if I want part of the string, I say I have a big line or something, and I need to pick up only a part of that. Say in hello world, I want only hello or world, or I just want L and O, L, O, and W, for example. So what we do? So we can do something. We are going to do. We want to cut it, right? We want to slice it. Slicing. So slicing a string, right? The string. So what we do? So we can say H is 0, right? So now if I want H and E, I can say I start at 0 and stop at, ideally say we put a colon, and I can say stop at 1 because E is at 1, but that is not the way it is defined, implemented. So you say 1 plus 1, basically you say 2. So if I want H and E, which is he, I need to say 0, 2. So this has to give me what? H, E, right? And now, same idea. Suppose if I want H, hello, so I start at 0 again, end at O, which is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't say 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So this has to be hello, right? And if I want say world, again I have to change what? The start has to start from W, which is at 4, 5, 6, and the end has to be D was at 10, so I don't take 10 plus 1, which is 11. So this gives me world, right? So let us run order. Is it okay? So we get he, we get hello, we get world. Yes. So this is fine, right? So now if I say I want this low, how do you do it? yeah, so uh, uh, what what I want, the question is, what I want is L O W. So how do we do that? So what is L? L will be the 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So I start at 3 and 4, 5, 6. 6 is W, so I put 7. Let us see if that is right. So we get low, L O W. So this is what it's like, and it's nice, right? And now let's do with some negative, right? So we know that we can also slice with the negative, right? We know we already used, we can go from left to right or right to left, right? We can index from left. Say with negative indices, right? So suppose I say, I can say, I say D, right? D is what I want to pick up, say world. How do I do? We say that we know that D is at -1. Remember, D is at, right? D is at -1. D, right? So now if I want to go from, if I want world, WOLD, I can say W is at what? W is at -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So start value is at -5, right? And end value is at -1. So suppose let us say -1 is 5. Let us do up to this. This is -1. So you know that, so let us run this first. We'll see what I want to say. So we get world, right? So if I want to do so we'll come back to this example, how to pick up D. The way to do D is we can do this, but I'll come back to this once again back. Let us keep that. Let us do some more examples of this. So if I want, say, W and O, so I can say starting will be -5. My end would be at what? O, -5. So -1, -2, -3, -4. -4 would be O. But as you know, we need one index higher than that, which will be -3. So this has to give me W and O. Let us see. Right. So W, O. So the point is we can use the negative integers to slice. So again, as we see here, you say put the start index and then the stop index. Here it is negative, so I put -5 for W, and O is at -4, but we always need one higher than that, so it has to be -3. So again, we can get, if you want to start from H, right? Okay, if you want to start from H, I can say H is at what? H is at -11, and until, let us go again, do it again, come back. So let us just pick up hello with this. So what is H? H is, what I want is, hello, right? So I need to start with H. The start has to be at -11 because -1, and so on. and the O is at -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. -7 is at O, so one higher than that would be -6, right? So +1, right? So hello. So we can also use negative index for slicing. Now let us go and study something, the defaults in these cases. The default values during slicing, right? Defaults during slicing. So here, let us go back here again. I do, so here I did 0 and 2. What we get was he, right? H and E, like 0, 1, 2, 1 higher than, so 1 plus 1, 2. 1 plus 1, 2, which will be H and E. But suppose you know that if I want D, right? D is at 10, so I don't do 10, 10 plus 1, 11. This gives me the whole word, right? Whole string, whole the pair of words. So hello world. So now suppose if I can also do something like this. If I want the whole thing, I can do this. I can start from 0 and I can say the whole thing. This gives me hello world. So let us do it. I just write everything. So this gives me what? This gives me hello world, right? And what I learned is if I don't need to do the whole thing. If I want till the end, what I can do, this also gives me what? This also gives me hello world. Yes, let us see. So hello world. So here the rule, okay, we are putting a rule here. So the default, okay, so when here in this case, when the stop is not specified, right? So stop value, the default value is stop, when it is not given, is equal to what? Is equal to 11, which is what? Which is, so this is same as this, right? So the default value, so which is, suppose if I don't specify it, the value is what? 11, which is the length of string, right? So this is one of the rules. Not rules, the implementation, or if we can remember it, it will make it easy for us how it is work, or otherwise we'll have to just remember as such. So when there is no default, the length of the string, here in this case the length of hello world is what? 11. So it's same idea, or in the other way around. I have this. If I don't specify the first one, if I want to start from the beginning, right, I can do this 0 to 11. So what I'm saying is this also has to give us this. Yeah, hello world. So again, the same idea, right? So the default of the stop, the start value is what? Is at 0. So if I don't specify start value, that is 0. So now we can use a lot of things, right? So we can do both together, right? I can do this. I can do, say, if I want the whole thing, this is also fine, right? Right? So the default value for when both of them are not given, the start and stop will be the length of the string for the stop, and for the start value it is 0. So those are two things. So we can play around with it, like say if I want start to start from the beginning, and say earlier example, right? If I want just hello, I can do what? I don't have to specify 0. I can just 0, and I can say 5, right? That is hello. Or I can do the other way. I can say 0 start. I want that, for example, just I know that I want till the end, so which is nothing. I don't have to specify. And if I want to start W, I want world, right? What I want is this guy. If I want world, I can say I don't have to specify 11. I can tell where I start to start. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we get world. So these ideas also apply. These ideas also apply here, you know, for the negative case. So now I'm mixing everything. So here we had a thing right earlier. So we have a negative. So the -5 was my W, and you know, if you want, suppose if there was a question earlier, if I want D, right? If I put D was at what? D was at I'm asking for it with the negative indexing. I want world, right? So here, if I put the starting index is -1, right? So that will give me, what will that give? Will that give? That gives me only L, right? So if I want D, what we do? We are supposed to take one higher than that, right? 0, but 0 means H, right? So that doesn't work, because we are going from left to right in this case. So this won't work. But so that what we can use the default value. The default value when we are going from left to right is what? Nothing. The end value is what? We don't have to specify it, right? So end is nothing. So world. Yeah. So that was the thing which earlier. So we can use defaults here too. So we got the world, and here -1, -5, right? I can now do use the defaults here too. I can say I want to start at the beginning. The default for the starting is I can specify nothing, and say I want to end it. Say I just want the hello. So let's pick up hello. Say I want to pick up hello. How do I do hello? So I'm using default value. I don't have to specify H, and I want to use a negative indexing. So we was -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -7, right? So again, -7 is O, so we need to specify one higher than that. Let's see, does that work? Yes. Yeah. So again, sorry, let me check again. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So if I just say -7, remember it will be hell. It will be hell. but we don't want hell, we want one higher than that. Hello. Okay, so far we are okay, I believe. And let us do one more thing in this case. So let me do one more thing. There's something called, so far what we have done, I have taken the print, right, and I have taken the print statement, okay, and I can do a slice of that. I'd say 0, and I do 0, and I do 5, and I get hello. So but what I can do is I can have something. If I don't want, now how we are going, I'm going H E L L O. I'm going, I got 0, then I got E, then I got L, and I got L. So how was it working? Let us understand, right? Before we go there, yeah, let us take a small break. So let us see how was this working. This is same as what? I didn't tell you. This is same as what? So this is same as print, right? Let's use what we have learned so far. This is same as print, right? Let's forget about print. This is same as what? Hello world, right? I do 0, right? Plus concatenate with what I get for H, index 0, and then again this will give you H, right? And then index 1, right? Concatenate with 2. So what we are saying? So we are saying 1, and next one will be what? Same thing, and will be 2, right? So I get H plus E plus L, and so on. So and this continues, right? So now that's the idea, right? So if you just try to put a print statement before that, this should give the same as this, but provided that you go up to O. So now, so you can see the 0 plus 1 1 1 plus 1. So we are having a step size. The idea of the step is what? 1. So we have something called stripes, or a step. So that step basically is hidden somehow. This is 1, right? So when I say, when in any of these examples, there is a step size which is basically 1, and we are going from left to right, and this is positive 1, like positive plus 1. So let us do, now we can play around. Take this guy and put it here. So this is valid for anything, right? I can do the full thing, right? Remember, I can do 11, right? That will be hello world, and this one will give me same thing, right? You don't have to write it. That will be hello world. So 1 is a step. Now the interesting thing here will be, suppose I want to change this 2. So what will happen now? I get H0 with H, right? And then E, I add, so that is this, write it down. So I get this guy, right? Perfect. The start value is there, and then I take this guy, but here instead of going to 1, 0 plus the step size is 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. So which would be what? E is gone. So now you get L. So H, L, and the next one will be same, and 2 plus, earlier it was 2 plus 1, which was 3. Now it is 2 plus 2, so 3. And then the 5th one, and then 7th one, and so on. So what will be that? Which would be something like what? Which would be something like H, there is no E, then next to L, there is no L, then O, then there is no space, W, there is no O, there is R, there is no L, there's D, right? Let's see, that's what we get. Yeah, see? And this we can play around with that, and you can get a different combination of that. I can do 3, right? I can do 3, so we skip H, L, W, L. So basically H is then 0th one, then 0 plus 3, the third, so the third one so is L, and then the first, then W, and so on. So the interesting thing here is that if the last one, if there is nothing there, it doesn't throw or it will work till. So here you can see after the last one is this L, right? And after that we are supposed to have D, and it goes, there is nothing to give us, so it doesn't, it gives us what is already up to L. It doesn't, it just say okay, no, this is wrong or something. Sorry. So that's so we can use what we are learning. The idea is something called a step or a stride, right? So now this, of course, as we learned earlier, we can use for both negative and the positive thing. We can use it for the negative indices, right? So remember, for suppose if I want to go, if I can start from say minus, I can start from the beginning, right? And I can take the whole thing. Remember how to take the whole thing? I can do the default. Let's not make it complicated. It's that way. So let us start from say 0, and the n value is so this is the start value, and the start value, say let us start from at minus 11, which is H, and let us stop at say O, right? HO. So which would be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, well, I can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I can say this, suppose this one, what will be this? This would be, I start at minus 11, which is what? H, and then I get E, I get L, I get L, I get O, right? Because the stop value is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For O plus 1, 5, so 4 plus 1, 5. So we get O. So let us see, is that right? Right, hello. So now we can, of course, we have mixed negative and positive indices there, but I can do 2. Right? So I get H, L, O, right? So I get H, L, L. So which is okay, right? I mean, which is right. So I believe this is fine. And now we can go to the, so if you want to do one more example with the negative only, so I can say minus 11. I don't have to do, I can do both minus. So what will be O? So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. So minus 7 plus 1, which will be minus 6. So H, L, oh yeah. So the same thing. So this is, so this one, not hello. This one is hello, right? So this one is not, this one, step 1 size will be hello. Otherwise what we get? H, L, O. So this is H, L, O, yeah. And similarly, the same thing here, right? H, L, O. Yeah. So let's see. H, L, O. And this, if I make it 2, yeah, H, L, O. If I make it 1, it will be hello. So again, the step size is an same idea. So H, then the starting index is minus 11. So you add 2 to that, so minus 11, so minus 9, which is L, and so on and so forth. So this is this, if you want to just write it down, so this can be expanded as hello world, right? We get it from like -11, then same thing, -11, -10, -9, because the step size is -2, and so on, like that. So that's it. And now let us go. Here also the defaults apply, right? Here also we can play with the defaults I told you earlier. Suppose I don't have to specify. Suppose I want the whole thing. What I can do this, right? Which would be hello world. I didn't specify the start value. I didn't specify the stop. So which would be what? Hello world with every 2 step. Yeah. Because we use HLOWRD. So that's, so the step values. So the default, remember the idea, the default, right? Default, the start is equal to 0, right? And step and stop is equal to 10. The stop value is if you don't specify it, so it is basically 11, right? So this is same as, let's check it, 0 and 11. Hello world, yeah. So the default value is, which is basically length of string. So when step is positive, so whenever the step value is positive, we are actually going from left to right, and if you don't specify the defaults, the start value default to 0, and the step value and the stop value will default to the length of the string, which in this case is 11. And also the default, we can also know one more thing we can do is, we don't have to specify anything. Right? What would be this? Which is hello world, which means the stop, again you can say default stop is what? Is 1, right? We get, so start value will be, so this is same as what? This is same as, we are indexing with 0 default and length default and 1. That is the idea. So now let us go and do one small idea of the thing, which is the negative step. Steps, right? So we know this. Let us take that, right? So we have this, we have that, and we know this is hello world, right? Let us do the first thing to know is that here we are going from the right to left, from D to H. So the start value, say I start at -1, and I suppose I want up to W, right? I say, or I want W and L from the right to left. So W and L, -1, -2, as usual, 1 lower than that. So because we are going towards the lower values, -3. Let's see if that is right. So D and L. So this is what? Let us do. This is same as what? where what is happening? I do -1, right, plus I do -1 -1 again -1, which is -2, right? I'm adding -1 to that, so like -2, which is L. So that's what is happening there. All right. So what we have here is negative steps, right? Now I can make it a little bit more. I don't have to go to my, I can just say start is -1, stop is, and I suppose let's put the stop. Suppose I want to stop at H, right? They want to stop at A. What is that? Is at which is at -11, right? But if I want H, I need one lower than that, right? So we get the whole thing, hello world in reverse. So this is reversing, right? So you reverse the whole thing, So now let us study a little bit more further before we go to the default thing. Okay, so let us do, I can do the same thing. I can do the same thing in -2, right? So we'll get what? D, right? And I'll skip L, and then I'll get R, and I'll skip O, and I'll D. Why? -1 plus -2. The step size is -2. So let us write it down. So let us write that down. This is correct, and this is not -2. So -1 plus -2 is -3, because step size is -2. And then we have -3 plus -5, right? Plus and so on. So we get again D, R, W, O, L, like that. You know, let's see. See, you're up to H. So here also, let us see the step size, right? So this is we know this is the full reversing, the whole thing. Let us take that, and then let us look for the defaults, right? So if I don't give anything, let's undo. If I don't give that, and the step size is negative, so what this has to give us what? Hello world in reverse. So again, remember, so let's write, so default, right? Default step, default start value equal to, what is it? -1, not 0. -1 when step negative, right? And again, take this thing. This is very important. So now we, again, this guy, I'm not giving the start value. So again we get hello world. So we can write default, right, start equal to, what is this? -12. -12 is minus of, right, length, right, length of the string, right, plus 1, right? So length of the string is length of the string is 11, right? And so 11 plus 1, 12, minus, yeah, so -12. So that is the thing. So again, when step negative. So this is different from the ideas that we learned here. The default here was 0, you know, and the stop is the stop is this. So here again, so what we can do in one shot both, right? We don't give nothing. So hello world. So simply to reverse a string, this is the format, right? Reversing. This is what you will see most of the places. Oh, I just want to reverse this string. How do I do this? Colon -1. The point is, how do you somebody if somebody asks you, how do you explain this? By saying that if I don't give anything, when the step size is negative, my start value is -1 and my stop value is -12, and in that way I start with D, which is -1, and then -1 plus -1 is -2. I get L, -2 plus -3 I get R, and so on, and I get H. Ideally, if it was -11, I won't get H because I only get up to E. Since I want H also, this minus has to be -12, so the default is -12. So this is what the answer for that. How does that work? So if somebody doesn't understand why this is giving me a reverse thing, this is because of this. When you use a negative thing, we go from right to left, and if nothing is given, these are the default values. It is not written, so Python already uses something which is already saved. So that's how this works. Okay, that's a lot for me. I don't know for you, but let us conclude this session by, we have written a small thing. Remember, we have this print the program that we wrote earlier. Let us make another version of this program and use what we so far learned with strings, right? Let us do that. So we are going to do, we say print, right? So we do another version. Maybe print, right? So we say we are saying this is our version 2 of our print program. So what we are going to do is remember hash ignores, right? Hash is anything after the hash sign is ignored by Python interpreter. So rewriting print program, right? So let's study this. So what we have here a print statement, right? And so what is the first thing here? We have a lot of space here. Let us first construct this space, right? So first we have a print statement, print, and I have a lot of space. So I need to say, remember we can use, so I put a single space and I can use multiplication. So let us take 10 spaces. I didn't count it. So 10 spaces, right? Now I have lots of x's. Remember, how do we do? I can take one x and one space and repeat it, right? So again, we concatenate that thing with one x and one space, and then let's take 15 of them, right? And see what we get. Yeah, so we got that, right? We have some space here at the beginning. There is an empty space here, and a lot of x's. The ideal, actually there is an empty space here, which we don't care, right? So now what is next? So next, again the same thing. So it's easy. Print, right? It's exactly same, which must be 10. After that, what we have? We have another x, right? Plus we have lots of empty spaces here, right? How many? So we put 15, right? 15. This was like we have 15, that one. So let us find out. So we did 15 times, right, we have x and a space, so 15 times 2, which gives us, right, 30, right, and 30 we subtract this is, so what we are trying to find is how many empty spaces we need. So this is this whole thing is we remove, there's an empty space there, so basically 30 minus 1, there's an empty space, right, so which gives us 29, right, 29, because we have the last, there was an empty space, our code uses, there's an empty space here, x and an empty space, so 29 minus, we have an x here, right, and an x here, it's 2, right, so which gives us basically 27, I think, right, x plus if it is wrong, so x plus empty space times 27, I believe, and finally 1x. That is the math, right? Oh my god, it's right. Okay, so now what we need, and now it's a repetition of same thing. Now the unique thing here is this guy, right, this statement. So what we have, again, the beginning is easy, right, and 10 plus 1x, right, I believe you're following it because same ideas. So concatenation, this whole thing gives me 10 spaces, this gives me 15, x and a space, there will be an empty space at the end, which we don't care because the way it is printed. But if we have to take into in the mathematics, that's why this become 27 rather than 30 minus 2, and there is one extra space, so that's become, this is 27. Otherwise you can just count it too, we don't have to do any math or anything. So this is what we have, and so now what we need, now we have to find this empty space here. So we know that this was 27 and hello world length is 11, so we can find it, right? So we have, what is that? So we have 27 minus 11 is the length of the hello world, which gives us 116, and we have spaces, so this is 27, we subtracted the hello world, so we get this space plus this space, so basically 16 by 2 giving us 8, right? So we say empty space times 8 plus, then we have hello world, yeah, plus again empty space, 8 spaces, plus we have an x. Does that work at all? Oh yeah, it works. So, and now we need this guy, right? And what we need the beginning part, this guy. So see, we get it. So if you want, we can add a few more of those, right? So we can add a few more of these guys. This, not there. 1, 2, 3 maybe, and same thing here, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, we got it. So this is hello world. So the same program, right? Earlier this program looked something like this, right? Now we use the tools, the basic string manipulation tools available in Python. We use string concatenation, we use multiplication, and we just we rewrote the program. This same program has become something like that. So we use some of the Python tools that what we have used, um, and then rewrote the program. So that's it for today's discussion of Python, and I hope it was easy to follow, and I'll see you soon in another session. Thank you so much for watching.